Hey guys, history behind the warrior, and today we're going to be talking about Mileena. Now as always, spoilers ahead. Pre-Mortal Kombat. Mileena is a clone of Kitana created by Shang Tsung for Shao Kahn. Her DNA is spliced between Edenian and Tarkatan. Unlike her sister, Mileena is very vicious and evil. She actually finds pleasure in killing and eating her victims.
Mileena wins. Fatality.
Oh god, I think I'm gonna be sick. Due to her relation to Shao Kahn, she believes that she is the rightful heir to the throne and actually despises Kitana for this. Now Mileena doesn't appear in Mortal Kombat 1, however she does turn up in Mortal Kombat 2 along with her sister Kitana. Mortal Kombat 2. After Shao Kahn conquers Edenia, he decided that he would keep King Jared's daughter Kitana alive and raise her as his own. However, Shao Kahn had feared that if she ever knew the truth of her past, she'd turn against him. This would lead the Emperor to order Shang Tsung to create a spliced clone of Kitana with Tarkatan blood. After many attempts at creating a clone, they were finally successful, and that would be the creation of Mileena. Mileena would be a perfect replica of Kitana down to the bone, except for the one factor of her actually having Tarkatan teeth. And the psychotic tendencies, of course. Instead of replacing Kitana as originally planned, Mileena would spy on Kitana and make sure that she had no relation and no understanding of her past to Edenia. Although she had continued to be loyal to Shao Kahn, she was actually secretly plotting behind his back, waiting for the right time to overthrow him. During the events of Mortal Kombat 2, Shao Kahn began to grow suspicious of Kitana, and Mileena was ordered to watch her. Shao Kahn's suspicions were correct, and Kitana was caught red-handed by Mileena talking to Earthrealm warriors. Mileena would attack Kitana, but Kitana quickly proved that she was the superior fighter and actually killed Mileena. After Mileena's death at Kitana's hands, her soul was sent to the Netherrealm, which fueled her hate for her twin sister. Mortal Kombat 3. Around the time Shao Kahn begins invading Earthrealm, Mileena finds herself resurrected and recruited by the fallen Elder God Shinnok. Mileena is sent to Earthrealm to observe the battle between the two forces. After Shao Kahn is ultimately defeated, Mileena is then summoned back to the Netherrealm with Noob Saibot. Mortal Kombat 4. During the events of Mortal Kombat 4, Mileena assisted in Shinnok's invasion of Edenia. In Mileena's eyes, she saw this as an opportunity to get back at her twin sister Kitana. Kitana had been locked up in a cell after the invasion of Edenia. However, Mileena had actually allowed her sister to escape from Shinnok's dungeons. Mileena would shock Kitana by appearing before her and try to prove that she was the better sister once again by attempting to kill Kitana. However, Mileena would come up short once again and be defeated by Kitana. After Shinnok's defeat and being bested by her sister Kitana, she had secretly been locked away in a Edenian prison, with Kitana having hopes that she would one day reform. Mileena is actually left out of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, however she does resurface in Mortal Kombat Deception. Mortal Kombat Deception. Mileena is imprisoned for many years, and during the events of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, many of the Earthrealm warriors are actually killed, including Kitana. This would lead to the Dragon King Onaga being resurrected and actually invading Edenia. Mileena would then be freed from her prison by Baraka, in which she would then join forces with Onaga. Onaga ordered Mileena to pose as Kitana. The reason behind this was to mislead the princess's armies while Onaga was gathering his strength. Mileena was happy to oblige and saw this as an opportunity to get some form of revenge against Kitana. However, as Mileena was now in control of the armies, she began conspiring against the Dragon King Onaga. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. During the events of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Mileena had seized control of Shao Kahn's fortress using the Edenian forces, because she was still under the disguise of Kitana. Mileena was now satisfied with her placement in the world, on top of her throne. However, she soon discovered that Shao Kahn alongside Goro and Shang Tsung had mounted an offense against her. Shao Kahn had now travelled to his fortress to reinstate his ruler as Khan over Outworld. Mileena was hiding in the throne room, and had instructed her mages to cast a defensive spell on the main door. However, their magic was proven futile against Shao Kahn's brute strength. The former Emperor was then face to face with Mileena. The mages then stood between the two in a last effort to protect the Empress. However, they were stabbed in the back by Mileena, who revealed her identity to Shao Kahn. Mileena would surrender her throne to Shao Kahn, in which Shao Kahn would then order her to capture Shigenko so that he could be used as a bargaining chip in gaining Onaga as an ally. Mileena would then pursue Sejenko, sending him a false invite which apparently works, as Sejenko finds himself confronted by a Dark Alliance and is quickly imprisoned and captured by Mileena herself. After having a taste for power, she is no longer content with just being a minion of Shao Kahn. She decides that she is destined for better and greater things, and sets her eyes on Edenia. Mileena briefly appears in Mortal Kombat Armageddon's Conquest mode, where she encounters Taven in the dungeons of Shao Kahn. She battles the Edenian, but is ultimately not successful in defeating him. Mileena is then next seen with the Forces of Darkness as they battle the Forces of Light in the Battle of Armageddon. She is seen fighting Nightwolf, but stops as the Pyramid of Argus finally rises from the earth. Whilst Mileena and many of the warriors are staring at the pyramid, she is punched in the face by Stryker during a moment of distraction. Many of the combatants then race to the top of the pyramid to acquire the power of Blaze. She is seen leaping on Shang Tsung, biting his neck only to be tossed over his shoulder. However, we all ultimately find out that Mileena fails in trying to climb to the Pyramid of Argus, as the beginning of Mortal Kombat 9 shows that everyone who was in that fight dies except Raiden and Shao Kahn, of course. Now we come to the reboot of Mortal Kombat 9, and in some cases for different characters, a lot of the origins have been changed. Mileena's one has been changed probably the most out of every character within that timeline. The reason behind this is because Mileena is actually born within the game, whereas in the original timeline she's made way before Mortal Kombat 2 when Kitana was a child. Mortal Kombat 9. Mileena is first discovered by Kitana in Shang Tsung's flesh pits. When Mileena awakens, she refers to Kitana as her sister, mockingly asking the princess to come to her and become a family. Kitana is understandably horrified by Mileena's creation, seeing a clone of herself spliced with Tarkatan DNA. Kitana refers to Mileena as a monstrosity and attacks and defeats her. Kitana confronts Shao Kahn about her creation, in which Shao Kahn reveals that he knew about this the whole time. Shao Kahn rejects Kitana and tells her her origin of Edenia, in which he then sentences her and accepts Mileena as his daughter. Kitana's friend Jade becomes aware of her existence and then attempts to rescue Kitana. Jade manages to reach up to Kitana, however Kitana pleads with Jade to go find Raiden instead of rescuing her, since Raiden can actually help her. Jade then travels to the Wastelands to find Raiden, however she instead finds Mileena. Jade is initially shocked at how Mileena looks so much like Kitana. Mileena begins cruelly teasing Jade about Kitana's execution. After defeating Mileena, Jade remarks that she is more of a sister to Kitana than Mileena is. When Earthrealm warriors appear, Smoke confuses Mileena for Kitana, unaware that Mileena is Kitana's clone. This confusion makes Smoke believe that Jade has attacked Kitana, in which then Smoke attacks Jade. This distraction actually allows Mileena to escape, in which she is then later seen standing at the Colosseum next to Shao Kahn. After Shao Kahn is killed by Liu Kang, Baraka points out that Mileena should be the next successor to the throne. However, Shao Kahn emerges, in which then she bows to her father quickly. It is revealed quickly that Quan Chi has healed his wounds. Mileena is then next seen during the Earthrealm invasion, where she is spotted by Curtis Stryker and Cabal. Stryker then approaches Mileena, however Mileena makes it clear that she is not with Earthrealm, and the two of them then face off, with Stryker proving himself victorious. Mileena is then shocked by Raiden as she attempts to attack Stryker from behind. She's later seen entering the room with Lin Kuei cyborgs and Tarkatans, bringing the corpse of Motaro, who has been killed by Raiden. Sindel grows tired of this battle and asks Shao Kahn for the power she requires in order to kill Earthrealm warriors. While Shao Kahn is transferring Shang Tsung's essence into Queen Sindel, Noob Saibot and Mileena both intercept Cabal as he attempts to attack Shao Kahn. Despite it being a 2-on-1 fight, Cabal manages to defeat both of them, and Mileena is not seen again after that. Now there's a lot that happens with Mileena in the Mortal Kombat X comic books, but I'm not going to cover it yet till the actual Mortal Kombat comic book finishes. However, what I can ultimately pick up from the Mortal Kombat comic books is that after Shao Kahn's death, Mileena becomes the new Empress of Outworld. We then learn that Mileena's rule is actually worse than Shao Kahn's, which then leads to Kotal Kahn creating a coup d'etat against her. Then there's a bunch of really crazy stuff which I don't really know what happens because it's all over the place and there's some actual continuity errors, so I'll leave it for now. However, we do know that Mileena has been exiled and the throne has been passed on to Kotal Kahn, and the two of them are feuding over who owns that throne right now. Mortal Kombat X. In present day, Mileena is seen launching a sneak attack on Kotal Kahn and Zunkara with Rain, Tanya and Kano. The four of them then attempt to assassinate him but are all promptly defeated. Before Kotal Kahn can execute them, Mileena uses Shinnok's amulet to protect herself. After using the amulet to protect herself, she collapses and Rain escapes with her. We learn from Li Mei that Mileena was responsible for destroying Li Mei's village and caused its citizens to be displaced in Earthrealm as refugees. We later learn from Rain that wielding the amulet is slowly killing her and is part of his plan to take Outworld's throne for himself. The Special Forces learn of Mileena's location after Kano is captured. Cassie's team is then tasked with Devora to capture the amulet. Whilst Cassie and Devora are breaking the safe, Mileena stumbles upon them. Devora then engages Mileena in combat and defeats her. After being defeated, she is brought before Kotal Khan. He considers her unworthy to be executed by his hand and tells Devora to do so, which is then followed by one of the most unnecessarily disgustingly gross deaths I think I've ever seen on my Xbox One so far. Thank you, Devora, for scarring me and making me not want to eat anymore. So from what you guys can tell, this is probably the end of Mileena's story. You know, I don't think that really gives too much away. However, as we know from Shang Tsung's Flesh Bits, there are many copies of Mileena, so I doubt this will be the last we ever see of her. But that's the story of Mileena, and I was quite hesitant with approaching this character because of how provocative she looks. And the reason I didn't want to do her too soon is because I wanted to do a bunch of other characters. But now I want to bring up another topic because I feel like I need to talk about this topic since we could not avoid talking about it. The reason why I avoided Mileena for a very long time is due to the very over-sexualization of her character. And I know some people are going to be nitpicky about it, but you cannot deny that she's very over-sexualized into games and she's very provocative with what she wears. Like, this is not battle attire, that's lingerie. So I'm quite happy in Mortal Kombat X that she was given finally a decent costume. But anyway guys, rant over, and as always I'll chuck out a preview for next week right about now.
Smoke. Smoke is dead. I am an Enra.
So yeah guys, Smoke/Enra is definitely gonna happen next week. You guys consistently asked and you thumbs up that one comment which wanted Smoke, and it pretty much won me over when it went past 50, but now it's probably at 100, which I'm completely shocked at. So if you guys want to see a character that badly, literally put the name of the character in the comments. If it gets enough thumbs up and catches my attention, chances are I'm going to cover that character either very soon or it's going to be on the next week. Anyway guys, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.